Hello and welcome to the Connection Compass podcast. I'm your host, Andrea Louise Evans. This week we are doing a mini series dedicated to the Rooted and Rising retreats on the 1st of August at Chatham Farm Retreat in Bolton. We've been hearing from the different presenters throughout the week, and now it's my turn. So you've got me today sharing a little bit about me, how I've come to do what I'm doing, the sessions that I'll be creating and delivering, and what I want you to know. So hello, yes, it's Andrea here. I often use my middle name, Andrea Louise Evans, but you don't have to call me Andrea Louise. Just call me Andrea. The reason why I use the Louise bit for work is because of its meaning. So Louise means warrior, and having developed a body of work of care and connection since 2017, I can tell you there have been some ups and downs. So using that part of my name was just a real creative way of reminding myself not to give up. So for the past 7 years, I've dedicated my time to developing a body of work with the intention of creating holistic well-being and ability to thrive through a culture of care and connection. And the idea just came to me in the briefest of moments. I was facilitating a workshop for managers, and I overheard them talking. They were talking about things like self-esteem, like self-confidence, and they were worrying about work. And I was just thinking, to look at these people and to know what they do and how amazing they are, you just wouldn't think that they were worrying about their confidence. So those things are just very human, aren't they? We all experience them throughout our lives. And it was in that moment that I just thought, we need something deeper. We need something more meaningful in work, in our lives. And the work grew from there. So it was just this tiny idea. And I had to tell you, I absolutely love growing ideas and turning them from nothing, from a word, into something big and impactful, and just seeing things, how far I can take them. I can tell you that there's been lots of up and downs, as I mentioned, and lots of failures, but a lot of learning to take with me on my way. So at this moment in time, I work as an organizational improvement and wellbeing strategist, delivering coaching to individuals and teams. And I love it, listening to people's dreams and what they want to do, and helping them to make that possible, no matter what the obstacles are in front of them. And I'm incredibly passionate about storytelling and hearing the stories of others, so that those who are listening can see, hear, and understand a person beyond what they see at surface skin level. It absolutely drives me crazy that we have a very surface level driven world. It's often fragmented and disconnected, and it doesn't match our human depth and emotional and mental need. And so, for that reason, I host a podcast where people can share their stories. Other things that want to know about me is that I'm a trained yoga teacher. I'm trained in Shivananda yoga, pregnancy yoga, and somatic practices for healing, reducing stress, anxiety, and burnout recovery. Often, the thing that I often forget to tell people is that I'm also trained in all levels of Reiki, and I do hold the title of Reiki Master, although I don't tend to use that title. I've been practicing for about 14 years now. So through the modalities of yoga and Reiki, I've got a really good understanding of the chakra system and Jungian archetypal work too. And so this body of work that I've created over 7 years is collectively known as the Connection Compass Framework. And the Connection Compass Framework is a map, a guide to share to help us develop a connection with ourselves, with nature, with our hearts and intuition and others as well. And our inner world, our inner compass, often impacts the outer world, the outer compass, and the outer compass impacts the inner compass. So we'll be talking about this in the sessions, which I'll explain a little bit further on. But I've also been a qualified nurse for 28 years too, working predominantly in public health. I love books, being outdoors, and having grown up in Manchester in the 80s and 90s, I absolutely love music. The work that I've created over the past 7 years, it was about a vision of wanting to create a culture of care and connection where people can be truly seen, heard, and understood, and holistically supported to thrive. And a world where personal growth, leadership, and collaboration emerge from alignment with the self, with others, with the environments that we live and work in, and our purpose as well. So, the first session that I will be holding is around the work of the Connection Compass. So, in that 45 minutes, we'll journey through the Connection Compass framework with a focus on connecting to the self, which is essential from the foundation of cultivating a culture of care and connection. It all starts with us. Once we can do it for ourselves, we can do it for others and the communities and the wider world, but we have to come first in this. And so through gentle yoga-inspired movements, guided introspection, we'll explore the art of noticing ourselves, noticing our breath and sensation and thought and emotion, but without judgment. And the practice of embodiment and awareness will help us come home to ourselves, help us to have that deeper connection with ourselves so that we can engage more authentically with others and our environment, but also that relationship with ourselves as well. So altogether, we'll begin to restore the threads of interconnection that supports a more compassionate and conscious way of being. The second session is around the connection that we have with nature. So we'll be talking about living a seasonally guided life, leaning into the rhythm of the seasons, what that means, what that looks like, what it doesn't mean. And then we'll open to the fullness and focus on summer. So together we'll soften into a nourishing yoga nidra, letting the energy of the sun infuse our body and spirits with vitality and clarity. And we'll come into the heart. So we'll start to work with the heart and intuition. So through heart-led chanting, intentional stillness, we'll awaken the inner flame, our passion, purpose, and joy. And we'll set the seeds of intention for the months ahead. Aligning nature's wisdom with our own inner power. What else I want you to know, in this world that feels fragmented and disconnected, and what times feels very judgment-based and ungrounded, the most powerful thing that we can do for ourselves is have that connection to ourselves, to our inner world, to our relationship with nature and each other, so that whatever happens outside of us, we remain unmovable, standing in our own power and strength. Looking forward to seeing you there. I have no doubt this is going to be an amazing event. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Connection Compass. If you are interested in attending the retreat, please see the details that are in the show notes. Take care and see you soon.